there's a tragedy where an individual will be in the prime of their life, and instead of maximizing their experiences traveling the world and meeting new people, they grind some type of job that they most likely don't even like because they think that they need to advance in their career. And it's all hidden under this trap of, oh, you need to, secure yourself in your future and you need to make money and all this stuff. Really, since the age of 6, you go to school and then you do school until you're probably 22 for most people, or maybe when you graduate high school when you're 18 and you go straight into the trades, and then you work until you're 60, 65 if you're lucky, and then you retire. Who wants to travel the world when they are 65 years old? You're not even going to have the health or the means to do that in terms of what you're physically capable of, you know? You're probably going to have grandchildren by then, hopefully. And so you got other things that you need to focus and be around for. It just logically doesn't make sense to me that when people are really the ages of 20 to 35 are not trying to experience more of the world. I'm not saying just completely stop working. It's just the whole corporate route, even the trades. It's soul crushing. Literally nobody is passionate about any of that at all. And the ones that say they are mostly lying. Like you might have a few outliers here and there, but for the most part, these people are lying. It makes no sense. Why would anybody slave away at a job for a corporation that doesn't care about them? It really, people are not thinking this through. And I think the biggest answer to that question is just social conditioning. People know that everyone else, all their peers that are their age are working, and so they're behind if they're not working. But that's just, we're just being brainwashed. I graduate in like 5 weeks, I think. Do you think that I want to go into a corporate job? Like, no, I'm not going to do that. No, thank you. I want to travel. I want to like experience life. I don't even know what I want to do with my life. So they want you to go to school, have a loan, so you're in a bunch of debt by the time you graduate on something you probably don't even know what you didn't know what you want to study. Not probably, you didn't. You were only 18 years old when you were graduating high school. And so then you put all this money down and then you're supposed to go straight into getting a job. Where is the time to experience life or breathe or figure out what you want to do? You don't have it. And so you owe it to yourself to go explore the world. There's a trap of later. People's graves are full of people who had plans for the next year. There's a relentless thing of later. My dad, God bless him, he works really hard to provide for our family and everything, but he hates his job so much. His boss is just a terrible lady. And he's just this really kind, nice guy who's hardworking. But he's been hating his job the past 5 years, and he's just miserable with it. And I respect the crap out of him, and I'm extremely grateful. But I've been telling him to quit this job because I'm like, you're literally, it's impacting your entire life. It impacts your life outside of work because it's like you're just so exhausted and stressed out about the fact that you got to go to work again the next day. And he keeps telling me, oh, I'm going to quit my job by then because, it just sucks so much. And, like as of right now, he said a year from next March, he said if things don't get better, then he's going to quit. And I'm like, dude, you got to just send it. You got to just experience life. My dad's in his mid-50s. Like, what are we doing here? And this is the trap that so many people fall into, and it starts from a young age. And once again, it's conditioned. When you trade time for money, you can never get rich. It's not possible. The only way that you can actually become genuinely wealthy is if you own assets, right? If you actually have capital. That's the only way you can get rich. Getting some type of salary or getting paid hourly, that's not the move, because then it doesn't matter how good you are at something. You're getting paid the same. Sure, there might be bonuses or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. It's, very small, I think, in relation to this conversation. But yeah, your 20s and 30s, I mean, those are the prime years of your life. You should try to fall in love. You should do things. It's so weird to me that, on LinkedIn, all these people that are my age are just like throwing up some chat GBT generated, oh, I'm pleased to announce that I accepted a role as a blah blah blah, which is an entry level at this corporation. I'm like, oh my god, like it's one of those weird things where it's like good for you but low key bad for you. Like, I'm not hating on you, I'm just saying like that's my worst nightmare. Cause yeah, I want to. I've never even traveled outside of the country. My dream is I really want to go to a Barcelona football game. I'm like a Barcelona super fan, and it's been my dream since I was little to go do that, and I've never been able to do that. And I realized that like all these people studied abroad, they've done all these cool different things, but then I've never gotten to experience anything like that. So why would I just go and start working hard again at a job? Like, that just seems nonsensical. There's a large regret. There's been studies where they literally ask people who are on their deathbeds, like, what do you regret? And one of the most common regrets is, I wish I would have spent more time with my family and friends. I wish I would have had the guts to do what I wanted with my life. Instead, these people wasted it trying to chase the next dollar, only for then 5 years later for the purchasing power of that dollar to be significantly decreased. So yeah, as time goes on, the work that you've put in, it gets lesser and lesser and lesser. There's another side of this argument that's like the jobs aren't the enemy, but being stuck is. Like, you may need a job, but you don't need to let it consume your entire life. And most people do let it consume. If you talk to the average person that works and has a regular schedule, working 40 to 50 hours a week, they don't want to go out Monday through Thursday. Well, really Sunday through Thursday. They're not willing to go out. Why? Because they have work the next day. So this is literally limiting your ability outside of your working hours as to what you can do. That's like my worst nightmare. I want to be able to dictate my own schedule. After all, it is my life. I want autonomy. That's what I value. But yeah, your best years of your life, especially, I'm not saying, once again, there's a time and a place to work, absolutely, and I believe in hard work. But number one, you shouldn't do it at a job you don't want. And number two, you should work a lot less during your prime years. Burnout is real. Like, that stuff is real. Like, you're going to get tired very fast. I was tired of my last job that I had within the first 3 weeks. I was done with it. I was like, can I just move on? So I would say, don't waste your best years asleep. Be very intentional with how you spend your time, not just how you earn your money. With social media, for example, you could do UGC. And you could easily make 5 to 10K a month doing that. Like, literally go and search it up. You don't have to have a following at all to do UGC. You just sign on with a bunch of companies, get a bunch of contracts where they pay you per video. Anybody can do this. Just so you guys know, this is not like on my channel. I don't really BS around. You could search up how to get into UGC and watch a YouTube video on it. And you could do that, and that's from your phone. It's remote. It's talking head videos, and all of a sudden you can make 5 to 10K a month, and then you could travel. And it would only require like 1 to 2 hours of work a day. It's very ridiculously realistic for anybody. So I would say, like, well, before you go out and are in a position of actual freedom where you could do something with your life, like if you're in school and you're trying to finish up school, spend your free time trying to figure out ways that you can make a decent amount of money for very minimal effort, and that can be done, most importantly, remotely, because that's going to allow you to go out into the world, experience cool things, and not really be too stressed about how are you going to pay the next, your bills. It's funny, I have a friend of mine who his whole plan, he's like, dude, I'm just gonna die with debt. I think that's hilarious. He's like, yeah, who's gonna pay that off? I don't care. This is your one life, guys. I know it's super cliche to say it, but this is your one life. And nobody who spent it just putting their head down and grinding the entire time enjoyed it at all. I know I might sound hypocritical because those of you that are fans of my channel know that I've been working pretty hard this past year, but the reason I'm doing that is so I can set myself up better for the future, for these next, like, honestly, in the next half year or so I can go out and experience the world. So I'm just putting my head down now while I'm finishing up school. So at the second that I do that, I literally don't have a job lined up for when I graduate. And I haven't even attempted, I'm not going to go through that whole BS process, but give yourself a shot and never be influenced by other people, especially if you don't want to be in the position that they're in. If your parents are, no disrespect, but they're just like mediocre people that haven't really lived exceptional lives and you want to live an exceptional life, you can't be taking advice from them. You have to go out and carpe diem, seize the day, right? Thank you guys for watching.